Hey up and how do, welcome back to another one of my videos. I'm Mr. Wraithchild. In this episode, I just wanted to go through my hair transplant journey, because I know it's been like a year and a half now, and it's something that I've always wanted to discuss from the end-to-end process. Basically why I wanted to get the hair transplant, what it transpired when I had the hand transplant, maybe not yet, the hair transplant, and just how I feel afterwards. Do you know what I mean? So let's get cracking, shall we, and delve deep into the world of hair transplants. So when I was about 17, that's when the hair loss started. I always remember seeing some wedding pictures of my brother and his wife, and I thought, oh, these temples are looking a little bit sparse. Do you know up there? What's going on with that? I thought, I'm not happy with that. So I started using anti-hair loss shampoo. For years and years and years I used that. Years and years and years. And then I did notice it starting to creep back a little bit, but it wasn't anything that I couldn't control. It seemed alright. And that was from 17 to about 30. It had receded a little bit at the temples, and I was like, but it's always bothered me. It always bothered me because there were certain hairstyles that I really wanted to do, and I was like, oh, but it might look a bit thin, or it might look noticeable, and I don't want people commenting. So it just limited things, limited hairstyles that I wanted. And then from 30, when I moved to Manchester, this must have been the stress of moving. I thought, that seems to be speeding up a little bit now. What's going on? And to be honest, when I thought at 17, I thought I'd be bald at 30. So when I got to 30, I was like, okay, we're all right. We're all right. And I started using disguise hair powders. John's brown, you get these brown fibre things that you can put in your hair. And I thought, oh, that'll thicken it up, which it did. It just meant that if you were sweating or you were caught in rain or something, that the dye could just drip down your head. And when I used to put it on, it used to gather around my temple. I'm like, oh, this is even worse. And it just bothered me. Every day I used to look in the mirror oh God, it's even further back, or counting the hairs in the plug hole, or counting the hairs that were on the pillowcase. I'm like, oh God, oh God. And then I started taking some pills for it. And then it was 2020, about January time, I thought, you know what? I've had enough. I need a hair transplant. I thought, I'm just going to hair transplant. I'm sick of looking at the mirror and being oh, I'm not happy with myself. I need to sort this out, and I need to boost my confidence. I think that's what it was for, really, just to boost my confidence. Well, I wanted to look better, but I wanted my confidence to be boosted and not be oh God, are people looking at my hairline and thinking, oh, it's creeping back, it's creeping back. And I always said to myself when I was younger, there's no way you're going to be bald, darling. That is not an option. So I was looking around, and I only found I could only find there's no shade or anything in this, but it was just celebrities, your Z-list celebrities and stuff, your B-lists and all that, because your A-list, love, they hide it very well. Nothing wrong with that, absolutely nothing wrong with it, no judgment. But I couldn't really find anybody that was just a normal person. Well, normal. I couldn't find anybody from the streets that were oh yeah, I had this done. It was really difficult. I had a few consultations in a few places in Manchester, and then I found one place called KSL, which is in Manchester, that specialise in hair transplants, eyebrow transplants, beard transplants, maybe. And I was showing my husband, and he was oh no, I don't believe it. He just thought it was a gimmick, they just wanted your money, basically. He weren't trustworthy of it. I was it's fine, because I've done a bit of research, well, I did quite a lot of research on it over the years, But 2020 was the time when I was like, right, it's happening. So he came with me to a consultation, met the guy called Andrew, Scottish man, wonderful, so knowledgeable, put you at ease, put my husband at ease, just explained everything from start to finish, what the procedure would be like. Also, he introduced me to a new shampoo, which I'm still using like 2 years later, called Waterman's. If anyone's interested, you can get a hair shampoo, conditioner, pills, masks, sprays, and it's called Waterman's. I'm not sponsored by this or anything, but actually, do you know what? Waterman's, funny fact, it's actually from Rotherham, which is my hometown. So when I was using it, I was like, yeah, I'm doing it for the hometown. Do you know what I mean? So then when he just said everything, he told me like what was going to be happening. I was like, right, left, went to my husband, we are doing it, well, I'm doing it, but he's been there with me from the start, so we're doing it together. Pay the deposit. This was in April, I think now, 2020, and then it was due to take place in end of July 25th that year. Because of the following year, then we were going to go to the west coast of America, and I thought, oh, may I be luscious for that, and I can like up top down on convertible and let the wind go through my gorgeous locks. But then like COVID happened, and I was like, oh god, is it going to get cancelled? But no, we were fine. Went in on the 25th, as normal. I did cut my hair beforehand though. I can't remember what size it was, but they said to like shave it to a certain length. I think it was 0.1 or 0.5 or something, which I did. But I think I left it a bit too long. So when I went on the first day, I think it was about 7:30 in the morning that I was due. So when I went in, met Kerry, which is one of the not surgeons, but she's like a manager there. She oversees everything, makes sure everything's going right. She sorted me in. Was lovely. Took me to a waiting room on my own, which is like you get like a private room. This isn't actually an advert for KSL. This is just my experience. It could be different for someone else. But if anybody's worried about anything, this is just my experience of what I've been through. So I went in the waiting room, she explained what was going to happen, watched a bit of BBC News, I chilled out, relaxed, and then I went in to see the surgeon, Dr. Matty, amazing, literally a wizard. Oh, come here. Oh, my cat's here. Hey up, love. My cat's joining in. Oh, you see your tail. Come on, love. I'm going through the story of my hair transplant if you're interested. She's not. Yeah, so I went in, Dr. Matty, he basically told me what was going to happen took me to a mirror, drew the line where I wanted my hairline to be, or I want it to be. Drew it on, which was obviously like there. And then I laid down on this table, not table, but you know what I mean, proper, like a hospital bed thing, chair, on my front. And then this is probably I say worst part. It's like, I don't mind needles, but it did hurt quite a bit. I had a lot of needles in the back of my head. Like I think there's a few needles in total, but to numb your head. So they numbed all the back of my head. I'm gonna put some pictures as I go along as well. They numbed it all with loads of needles. I think I saw about 4 in total, and they went along around the back where the donor area where they were going to take the hair from. They injected all of that, left that to work its magic. Oh god, I'm getting warm. Oh, it's warm, love. Maybe it's like for thinking about that. Because I did get really stressed out. I was like, oh my God, it's the fear of the unknown. I was like, oh Jesus, what's going to happen? Oh my God. But it was fine. Numb. After that was done, I did not feel a thing. Dr. Matty left, and the two surgeons came in. Lovely, absolutely just polite as anything. I had Netflix on. What else did I have on? Smash Hits, I think I had on. It was very current music. It was just a fabulous experience, very relaxed. They came in, and where it was numbed, they punctured around each hole. So they punctured around each hole, and then after they punctured everything, they extracted each hair individually, which I think took a couple of hours. Because once they'd extracted everything, I had a break for lunch, mate. I was sat there with pasta, with Coke, with crisps, Mars bar, loving life. Just like looking around, and wasn't any pain. No pain at all, actually. And then after lunch, I came back. I was still in the actual room. And Dr. Matty came in, and then he went and put the holes in the actual temple, which you'll see. He just literally, it might sound a bit gross, but it was like a crunching noise in my skull. But it wasn't in the skull, it was in the skin. So he went in to put each individual hole, I think in about 1800, I think. Don't quote me on that because I don't remember exactly, but there were a lot of holes. It should be filled in. So he did that. We had a really nice conversation. I was watching Netflix, very relaxed again. He'd put all the holes in where they needed to be. He went a little bit further into the hairline so it all blended in. And then the surgeons that took the hairs out previously went back in and put the hairs in from the donor area, so at the back where they took them out, they put them into the transplant area. So I think in total, when that was finished, it was about 7 hours in total. And then when that had done, they bandaged up the front bit, they bandaged the back bit, and then my husband picked me up and we came home. And that was day one. But actually, before we came home, they gave me a pack with everything I'll need, like antibiotics, painkillers, baby shampoo, because after about a week or two you can start to wash your hair. Basically everything you're going to need for those first couple of weeks, just until you can actually wash your hair normally again. And it just was literally from me going to get the consultation with Andrew to having it done and going home, it was perfect. Yeah, the worst part was having all those needles, but it was worth it. Do you know what I mean? It was worth it for me to look in the mirror now and be like, oh God, and just have this hairline. I thought I'd be bald at 30. I'm nearly 37. I'm like, look. And in the future, if more of my hair disappears or whatever, if it happens, if it carries on, I'll just get another hair transplant because I've had such a good experience. I'm like, do it again. Not worried. So as you're going to see in the following pictures, after a couple of weeks, the hair that was transplanted in, which is falls out, which is absolutely normal, is to be expected. It's like a normal shedding phase of your natural hair cycle. So the hair grew, and then it all fell out, which you'll see. And then I got something called like shock loss, which means that like the hair around it also fell out as well. So it looked worse before it got better. And then after a couple more weeks, it started to grow, and then over the weeks and months, it grew longer and longer and longer and longer until, it got to about this length. So this curly hair there is actually it's curly, like the back of my hair is curly. So it's curly, and then it's like a bit wavy. So yeah, whatever's in the back is in the front. So there was a lot of grey in the back, and there's also some grey in the front now, which I ain't bothered about because it's hair. Yeah, so yeah, I'd say that was done in July, and then in December I had a pair of curtains. I had a curtains hairstyle, loved that. And then it just grew, I just let it grow and grow and grow and grow until I just let it cut, which you'll see in well, if you want to look, there's a previous video that I posted yesterday where I actually had my hair cut for the first time. It was like down there, it was so curly. And I have it up, I tie my hair up, I have like a little samurai style. And I love it, I'm so happy. Like, I look in the mirror now and I'm like, just so confident with my hairline now. I'm like, oh my god, I'm just so happy. Literally so happy. Everyone's like, oh my god, your hair, I can't believe it. People were like, oh, I didn't think you needed a hair transplant. That's because I hid it well, love. I hid it well. But it's just made me so happy. Like, I love my hair. I just love it. Honestly, the wizards, I send them Christmas cards. That's how happy I am. And then every couple of, well, that's 6 months, I have PRP, which is just to strengthen that area and also the areas around it now. So they just take the blood out of your arm, they spin it round in a centrifuge, separate your blood from your plasma, and then inject that into your head. And because where I went at KSL, I went for my hair transplant there, so I got a discount on the PRP. So it's all worked out for me. I will leave you a link to their website below. Again, this isn't like a sponsored thing or anything, it's just from the experience I've had. I would recommend it. I would definitely recommend it because the team are just fabulous, the procedure is fabulous, what's happened to me is fabulous, and it's changed my life. Just have a look on the website and look at the results. And if you've got any queries, comments, whatever, questions, just drop them below in comments. I'm always happy to answer any questions about hair transplants, which I've put on my Instagram before, because I know it is a very touchy subject for men and women. Women can go there and get it done as well. But it's something, I'm not embarrassed about it. It's something I want to change about myself, and it worked, and I'm happy. Where's the drawback? Where's the negative? There isn't one. So yeah, that's my story. Obviously, I've not gone through the ins and outs of every single detail, but if you want to know anything, if there's things I've not touched up upon, just let me know. Because I could talk about it till the cows come home. I'm still today, like, I'm just amazed about what's happened. Like, when you see the pictures, you should have seen pictures by now. The difference, honestly. I'm happy as bloody Larry. So I'm going to leave that video there. As I said, anything else you want to know, just let me know. Have a fabulous rest of your day. And yeah, thanks for watching. Toodaloo.